All rise. The International Criminal Court Moot Court Competition 2018 English edition is now in session.
Thank you. Good afternoon again. I'm sorry that we took so long. The chamber had a very difficult task. This is my fourth year of doing these moots, and I think this has perhaps been one of the most difficult, and I say so with all sincerity to the three teams, so that in the end, there must always be a winner, and there'll be those who did not come first. But if you're a finalist in the Olympics, then you're one of the best in the world. So there's absolutely no shame. And I have to say that the quality of the submissions and the knowledge of the law, the facts, and how you use the citations, which we'll give you in a while, full of comments, was impressive. Now, according to the rules of the ICC Moot Court competition, deliberations were made to assess each of the teams participating based on the following criteria. 1, knowledge of facts and legal principles. 2, how you were able to articulate your analysis of the issues. 3, use of authorities and citations. 4, how ingenious you were with your submissions and the clarity. 5, your persuasiveness. 6, logic and reasoning, and finally 7, presentation. I have to say the quality, as I said, was excellent for all of you, and where the final scoring was so close, and it is because in some areas some of you were a bit better than others, a bit stronger, and others, and that's how it was. So what I will do is I will let my two colleagues give you some comments. I'll first start with Ms. Singh on my left, and you can perhaps, if you have any comments.
Like the presiding judge said, it was very close and very difficult for us to make a decision, but congratulations to all of you for doing such a commendable job, because it was a difficult fact pattern, particularly this year. So I'll be brief so I can give my other members of the bench an opportunity to give you comments as well. For the defense, it was a really good opening. You were well structured. I think you ran out of time a little bit towards the end, but in particular, I thought you dealt with the law really well, and your rebuttal, I think, was particularly strong, because you responded really well, given that you were the first one to speak. So that was really well done. In terms of the prosecution, you had a very difficult task, I think, based on the fact pattern, but you were very organized. I think it was very structured, and you really tackled the difficult issues head on. So, and I think you did a fantastic job, given how difficult some of the issues were, and given that we wanted you to speak a little bit more about the second issue, particularly. So, but well done overall. And you were also well within time. So I think it was very well structured overall. And the last team, the Counsel for the Victims, you, again, you were I think, very persuasive, very, you articulated the issues very well. You're one of the only teams, I think, who also went into a bit more detail about, when talking about the suffering of the victims, and I think you did that very well. So it was there was that aspect in it as well. So and again, it was good use of authorities and good use of the facts. So and that's all I have to say for the teams. But well done.
Thanks, Mr. Bacho.
I would echo the presiding judge. This was a really, really difficult decision, and we didn't decide based on the weaknesses in your arguments. There really weren't any real weaknesses, so we've chosen an order because we've had to choose an order, and it was again, it was very difficult. There were really interesting strengths with each of your arguments. Start with the victims. You really took on the role of a victim's advocate, and we heard some very creative arguments from you. And I really enjoyed, about human rights and the right to truth, and certain arguments that only a victim's advocate could make in this situation. So thank you. It was very, very interesting. And with the prosecutor, I would echo Judge Singh, and you certainly had the more difficult argument, and I was really impressed with the way that you tackled the more difficult issues and attempted to explain some difficult issues that were, in my view, almost unexplainable. So very well done, and I appreciate that you didn't shy away from them. And the defense, you're a true defense advocate, and you really sort of understood that your job is to sort of poke holes in the prosecutor's case, and you sort of did that in a sort of very masterful way, and I thought that was also very, very good. And I hope, regardless of the outcome today, I hope that all of you really should make careers of this, and I hope to see you actually and work with you someday. Yeah, very, very well done.
As we said, and of course, there's suspense. The scores were quite close, and there was not much separating the teams. So I will invite my colleague, Ms. Singh, to announce the second runner-up for the ICC Moot Court competition.
So the second runner-up for the ICC Moot Court competition 2018 is the team from the prosecution.
I will now give the floor to my colleague, Anthony Abato, to announce the first runner-up, and of course, by necessary implication, we would know the result.
The first runner-up is the legal representative of victims.
And the winner of the ICC Moot Court Competition 2018 edition is the defense. So it just leaves for me one more task, which was also difficult because it was tight. The prosecutor had a difficult case. The defense perhaps had an easier case. And this is, of course, for the best speaker. But in the end, I think this one, we were all found it a bit easier. That the best speaker that this chamber found in these proceedings was Mr. Chawla for the LRV. Right, so again, everybody needs to feel very proud of what you have done. You have demonstrated excellent knowledge of the Rome Statute. Your work has been a very high standard. So well done. I would just like now to invite all of you to a reception which will now be held in the lobby area. To reward you for all of your hard work. The ICC protocol staff will escort you to the conference cluster of the court where we will meet you once again. All right? So, thank you. Call matter.
All rise.